Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Deebi'ee dhufeetiin jira. Akkam nagaa fayyaadhayi. Messaging ta'anu khuni is for what's happening in Western Oromia and some part of our country that is disconnected from communication for over close to 3 months. So here's my idea as an individual, why this concerns me. The ABO administration have locked down information and every means of communication in Wallaga area, in Western Oromia and some part of Southern Oromia, cutting people off of their families, their loved ones, and communication in general. We have asked time and time again for this administration to restore communication and to allow people to receive important informations that connected their families and communities and loved ones, which has caused a very high emotional distress as well as security issues. As we were going in that direction, now the world is facing an existential threat, a pandemic of a coronavirus. Even in this time, the Ethiopian government refuses to restore services to these people, to deprive them of information, a life-saving information that they need at this time. These people have done nothing wrong to anyone. Politics is a game for the power hungry, but people just want to live their lives. And we have launched a campaign to say, reconnect them to a vital, ever-changing, day-to-day changing information so that they can protect themselves, their families, and their communities. Some government officials even argue that internet and information is not necessary to combat the pandemic. However, the rest of the world, a place where I live now, in Minnesota, United States, information is everything. We are glued to the TV, listening to our leaders, our health professionals, and basically everyone involved in informing people so that we make a better decision to protect our individual selves, our communities, and our families. Today, Western Oromia and some part of Southern Oromia is still in the darkness. United Nations have pleaded, and we have wrote many open letters to make this government, turn the switch on. To this day, we have yet to hear the restoration of this communication means. My question is, how far can your government go to satisfy the thirst of power and of control? How can you fight people and condemn people to death so that you, as a party, as a political figure, can become victorious? How much of a life is enough for you to switch it back on? And when is it that you go, now is the time to put these people's lives first? Today, I'm not sitting here as an activist. I'm not sitting here as a person who loves the idea of independent and free Oromia, unapologetically for that matter. I am sitting here as an individual, as a citizen of the world, to ask and understand what this is really about. At this time, as you can see, the world is united in fighting the pandemic together. And what you and your leader fail to understand is, this pandemic is global by definition. Pandemic means it's a global threat. No country is exempt from that. Every country's action, every country's victory is all of our victory. And any country's failure is a failure of the global community. So I ask you, do you want to shoulder that responsibility just because of your political vanity or ego? Or do you want to put people's lives first and put your politics aside and save lives before it's too late? But if you continue as an administration and as a government in this route, rest assured that we're saying to the world, each and every one of you is responsible for the lives we will lose. No one should escape the responsibility of what is about to happen. In normal times, we say, this side and that side, I am this side and I'm that side, and this is winning and that's losing. This is no longer the issue. If you look at our president here in the United States, he extended help to North Korea. As you know, North Korea, Iran, and the United States have never been on the same face ever since I came to this country. In fact, they even had a name for it. It's called an axis of evil. Even them, a mortal enemy, extending help to one another in combating this pandemic. However, you and your cronies are cutting your own citizen out of communication, life-saving information, and measures at this crucial time in world history. What is surprising, however, is that you are pleading to United Nations and the world for aid for Africa, 150 billion to be exact, which is great. I love leaders who take initiatives to combat a crisis we face together. But isn't it hypocritical for you to represent all of Africa in fighting the pandemic while you're cutting your own people off of important communication means and measures in your own home country? How can you reconcile those two ideas together? You refusing to have these people have the information they need to survive versus you putting yourself as an entire continental leader, to coordinate the fight against coronavirus. These are things that I sit and worry about. These are things that I sit and try to reconcile in my head because they make no sense to me as a person. It does make no sense. Here is my last word. Politics exists because people exist. Politics is a participation of the populace to create the type of government that they want in order to have some sort of a life. It's not the other way around. I have no fear when I tell you that repressive, egotistical, power-driven individuals have never, ever left anything positive in this world besides pain, war, and negative things that we teach children against. It is not too late for you to change your mind, to right this wrong right, to restore communication, to allow them to have vital information, including medicines in their pharmacies, personal protective equipment for their hospitals and clinics, so the healthcare centers could be ready, so the health professionals could have important information to use to help the people that come through their doors. What you're doing is nothing more than erasing humanity. And you will not be free from this blood. You will not be free from it. None of you are. And so I am speaking in the language the world understands broadly because I want the world to know that we have pleaded to you, that we have asked you, we have spoken for those people that you cut from the world from, to say they matter. Every single person in this world matters. And no society or people should be a bartering tool for a political game. It's not too late. You have time. Do the right thing. Save these people. They have done nothing wrong to you. That's all I can say without being too emotional. And I ask you to reconnect the West ET. Keep it on, and thank you.